Yep, that's me. And I bet you're wondering how I ended up in this situation. See, it all started with a little bucket list item. Hey guys, I'm coming today with my experience and review of Smile Direct Club, which is clear like Invisalign, but an alternative and much cheaper than actual Invisalign. Sorry, I'm looking down, I wrote notes. So I started Smile Direct January 2019. I got them to treat my gap. I had a big ass gap. And I work in the entertainment industry, and it was kind of hindering me, which is the only reason I got rid of it. But I did a lot of research and found Smile Direct online, and the cost was $1,500, I believe. You put $250 down, and then I had a $1,300 balance after. I live in a location in LA where they have an office where you can go get scanned instead of doing a mode. So I went and got a scan, and my treatment plan came back for 6 months that it would take to close my gap. They say it takes around 6 to 8 weeks to receive your aligners. Before you get them, they send you a video of your new smile, and it shows you the projection of how your teeth will move over the next 6 months or however long your plan ends up being. So then they tell you how long it'll take if you approve that you like how your smile looks. So it only actually ended up taking mine like 2 weeks to come, and it comes in a huge box, which I've thrown away already because it's been a while. But I'll insert a picture. Comes with a huge box. You get all 6 months of trays, which are the aligners. You get all 6 months worth. As you can tell, they kind of give you a lisp. Not having a gap anymore makes me have to enunciate a lot more because I spoke with my gap and now I don't have one, so words are kind of hard. Anyway, in the box you also get this chapstick or lip balm. Best shit you ever gonna have in your life. They should sell this in the store. Like, every time I've gone in to get a new scan, I ask them for one of these because I go through them so easily. They keep your lips so moisturized because your mouth, your lips, everything is gonna be so dry. Okay, in your box you also get a whitening kit. And it plugs into your phone. It's just like a little thing, and you plug it right into like a outlet thing or like the little charger head or right into your iPhone, and you use this little gel and you rub it on your teeth to whiten. They tell you to do that periodically. They don't send you that much, so you have to keep buying it, of course. I didn't really use all that. I just went to my dentist and got regular cleanings or whatever. Right after I got them, I started on a Monday. It's recommended that you start at nighttime just so you can sleep through your time adjusting to when you first put them in, because that first night that you put them in, when I put them in my mouth, it snapped onto my teeth so tight that I took my wig off. Like, I just snatched my wig off because I think I was in shock. I didn't know what to do. I pulled them back out and I put them on the counter. I just stared at them for like 2 minutes. I don't know why or what that did, but I like Googled, like, is this supposed to hurt that bad? Like, that felt like something just snatched my teeth out, and they were like, you know, just work with it. Don't take them back out. It just makes it worse when you put them back in. So I put them back in, pop 2 Tylenol PM, which is what they recommend you take for the pain. Some reason they say don't take ibuprofen or Advil or something, but months later I went to the doctor and asked them about it, and they were like, we never heard of that. We don't know why they're saying that or whatever. So anyway, but they say just take Tylenol. So I took 2 Tylenol PM and I just fought through the pain throughout the night. The next day, they were a little better, not much, but a little better. They weren't as bad. But like the first 2 weeks, I didn't eat anything but like smoothies, bananas, anything really, really soft, soups. And sometimes I didn't even eat because I didn't like going through the process of taking them out and putting them back in because I didn't feel food was worth that. So I just said I'm not eating some of the days. You're supposed to only have them out for 2 hours at a time while you're eating, and you're supposed to wear them 22 hours a day. So my plan, I guess there's different ways you wear your aligners depending on the plan you have. Like some people have 2 weeks in one tray, 2 weeks in another tray. I had 1 week, 1 week, 2 weeks. So for my first month, I wore one tray and then changed it the next week and then changed it the next week and then didn't change again for 2 weeks. And I did that my whole 6 months. It did not hurt as bad after I started changing them as that first initial time. Some people have experience where the aligners cut their gums and their tongue up or like dig into them where they have to file them down. I didn't really experience that. I think only one time did my trays do that it cut into my gum, but other than that, like my mouth did go numb, and I just used like some Orajel or some Kanka from like the dollar store and rubbed it on there to kind of numb my mouth before I put them in, and I would run them under cold water before I put them in, but then after that there was no problem. My stuff was going completely well up until about my 5th month. So up until then, it was weird seeing your mouth change. Like, I'm gonna insert pictures. Like, I had a big ass gap. Like, I mean, like a whole gap, like big. And I never really paid attention or thought about it that much until like it was changing. Sorry, something's in my eye. So before I got the aligners in, I had like that piece of skin that some people have in between their gaps, and I had to get mine surgically removed because if I didn't, it was just gonna make my gap open back up after the aligners were done. So I went and had that done, and that made my teeth look even more strange because I was used to that skin being there. So as time went, seeing like my gap close and my mouth start to look different was really like shocking, and it was like actually super fun kind of like to see your transformation happening. And you know, everyone rushes it like, it's been 2 weeks, I don't see any change. Do you guys see change? Like counting every millisecond of a movement, trying to see everything move. But having a gap, literally you see it inching and inching close and closer together, and it's like the coolest thing ever. So I got to about my 5th month, and my 5th month was where my gap should have been almost completely closed, like 95% of the way closed. But my front tooth, this one started to turn. So like instead of coming straight together like this, it was doing that. So I went into Smile Direct and had a new scan done so they could correct that. And I also realized that my bite had changed. Like my teeth no longer met each other at the top and bottom. Like I couldn't rip things open anymore. Like if I couldn't bite my nail. I mean, those are all bad habits, but like it was also a problem. Like my mouth, my teeth didn't touch anymore. So I had them correct that as well. So this is where like my problem started with Smile Direct. My 5th month was May. I didn't get new aligners. No, I went in May to get the scan, and I was supposed to be done in June. June would have been my 6th month. I would have been done. And like I said, everything was going great up until May. I get to May, go in and get a scan, tell them my problems. They send me new aligners. I wear 1 week. My new plan, so this now is called Refinements. So when you go through this process, if there's something ended up wrong with your teeth, or they start changing like mine did and not following the plan they gave, if your aligners don't fit, if they break, you get a rescan, and your new aligners are called Refinements. So I get my first month of Refinements. They give me a new 2-month plan that I'm gonna have to wear. So now it's projected that I would be done in July. So 2-month plan now. I wear my first week, no problem. Second week doesn't fit. So I'm like, okay, call them, tell them, go in for a new scan. They say they're gonna send me more. I wore the same aligners from the first week of June until, what month are we in? March? January. So from June to January, they messed up my aligners so many times. They sent me the wrong ones. They sent me 2 big ones. They sent me 2 small ones. At one point, they even sent me some that matched my very first month in January, where I had a big ass gap. Like the aligner had a big ass gap in it. And I'm like, this is my aligner from my very first month. How do y'all even still have that scan to send me this again? I call and call. They're like, oh, we're so sorry. What can we do? How can we make you smile? I'm like, I want to smile too. That's how you can make me smile. Send my aligner so I can keep smiling. So they send me another pair, still don't fit. So now at this point, they're like, well, we'll take some money off for the problems you've had, you know. So they took $200 off my account. Then they still didn't have anything. So then I was like, okay, where are my aligners still? Like, it's been like 5 months and I've been in the same aligners. Like, what's up? And it was starting to put a lot of pressure, like, on this tooth. Like, it was starting to, like, hurt a nerve in that tooth. Like, because they started getting too loose and my teeth were shifting a lot. So they ended up giving me 2 free retainers at the end of my plan. When I was all done, I would receive 2 free retainers. So finally, after all the back and forth, sometimes they weren't even answering the phone, they weren't calling me back. I was doing my due diligence, calling them every week, being respectful, not cussing nobody out. And sometimes they were giving me the runaround, but they were never disrespectful. It was just like kind of incompetent sometimes. Like, they weren't even communicating with each other. They weren't writing notes down. One person would tell me something, I called back, someone would tell me something else. Like, it was like no organization at all. But finally in January, I got my new month, 2-month plan again. These finally fit. My bite is still off. It's not as bad, but it's nowhere near where it was. They ended up fixing it to where I have the slightest gap now. It's not really bad or that big, and as long as I keep my retainer in, you can't really tell. Or if I've had it out too long, my teeth open up a little more, so you can tell a little more. But that only happens like toward the end of the night when it's time to put them back in anyway. But other than that, it's really no problem now. So I can show you, like, this is the retainer, my top one and my bottom one. And you can see this tooth still kind of turned, but they fixed it to where it's not so bad. So, what were my other questions? I think it would end up being worth it in the end, because I would have spent so much more money on like metal braces and so much longer of time. Like, I wasn't even pressed about how long it was because, again, my teeth weren't that bad. The only thing I was correcting was the gap. It was just more because they were not organized and they were giving me the runaround that I like really couldn't stand. So overall, the experience, I would give them a 7 out of 10, just because if you start having problems, they can be really hard to work with getting it taken care of in a timely manner. You can always reach somebody. They have like a 24-hour line, but getting it actually taken care of, they drag their feet. And they also do not want to give you no money back at all. They do not want to give you money back. They will give you refinements for the next 12 years before they give you some money back. They're going to keep trying to fix your damn teeth before they give you some money back. That is like my only quarrel with them, is they don't do things in a timely manner. Sometimes they'll tell you your stuff will be there 6 to 8 weeks and it'll end up being there next week. Sometimes they'll say 6 to 8 weeks and it won't be there for 5 months. That's kind of too big of a draw. But if you have the time and you don't got the money to do Invisalign or get metal braces, this is the route to go. And I can say I am really happy with my teeth. Like, confidence level, 10 out of 10. I mean, I was pretty confident with my gap because I've always had it. But, you know, usually I would not be all in people's face, because it looks really good. So I'm happy about that. So overall, I would recommend Smile Direct for people who don't mind someone taking a long time if there is problems. Because like I said, I almost got away with no problems. Like, it wasn't until my 5th month that I even experienced any problem at all. Do join the Facebook group. It's a Smile Direct Facebook group, but they answer so many questions. It's really like a great community to be in, because if you have the smallest problem, or you just need support or people to encourage you, or you find something weird and you want to know if someone else has that same thing happen, everyone has experienced everything, and if they haven't, they'll help you figure it out. So join the Facebook group, which I'll insert because I forgot what the actual name is, so I put a picture up there. But do Smile Direct if you broke like me. That's it. Till next time, have a great night.